Alright YouTube, Criminal here, back to another MK1 video. In this one I'm just gonna be covering a new tier list. I made the two separate tiers here for later, just as a backup, I want to say. So yeah, I'm just gonna, I made a more in detail ranking, like ranking them for worst to best, but I just felt like this was too long. So I'm just gonna make this tier list. I'm gonna go over it as short as I possibly can on every character. Just, I'm gonna try to wrap this up in around 15 minutes, just this tier list is completely my opinion, but it's pretty much objective facts. At this point, I think all of us know who's the top five are. Like, it's pretty much a given in the community. Like, the top seven are set in stone. So, yeah, let's just go right into it. Liu Kang, first of all, the creator of the universe, is the first one to rank. I put him at A plus. I think he's good. I think the main thing that kills the guy is just the lack of mix, but he is still a very good character because his damage output is very, very good. He is very easy to use as well, which is another great thing. His projectile game is very good. He has some solid hitboxes, but just I wish he had more. His forward four should have been a low. If it was, it would have been easily a top 10 character, but I think he just barely doesn't make it because of his lack of mixer. So yeah, Liu Kang, I put him at A plus. Next up, Kung Lao. Kung Lao, I think is a bit better than Liu Kang. I will put him above Liu Kang. He has an overhead combo starter. He has very good mix-ups, especially when using the Kung Lao cameo with the low hat. Shit can get out of hand. His overhead 4-2 is very tough for me personally to just react to. Like it catches me off guard a lot. But yeah, he has a bit of a lack of lows in his kit. He doesn't have many lows, but he's still a very solid character. He has the best armor wake up in the entire game. He's a back 4-2. When amplified, it's completely armored and it's only -7 on block, so it's pretty much safe. So yeah, extremely stupid. I hope it gets nerfed, honestly. I don't like having armor wake ups being safe on block. That's stupid. I really hate this. Armor wake ups should be punishable, for sure. Next up, we have a top 5 character already. Raiden, get up there. The best damage output in the entire game, except for one character. I think we all know who I'm talking about. Looking at you. But yeah, regardless, Raiden, stupid the good damage, like 50% for one bar when using Jax. He has a very good teleport, so he just doesn't care about zoning. He has a solid projectile as well. His damage output carries him hard, man. He also has a triple low string that is completely safe. He has the forward three into the cartwheel that is a double overhead that breaks armor as well. So yeah, this character just has a lot of tools, and the reward he gets is completely broken. So yeah, he's top 5 for sure for me. Next up, one of my favorites in the game, we have Geras. Geras is S. His time freeze move is fantastic. I don't think he breaks top 5. I do think there are 5 other characters that are better than him, but he is like number 6 for me. He is a fantastic character. He has a lack of mix-ups, but he is so good in neutral because of the time freeze. Like the one where you charge 3 hourglasses and then you can just freeze time anywhere on screen. If they weren't blocking at that moment, they just get caught. I think it's the second best special in the entire game after Cento stance. It's fucking stupid. So yeah, Geras is, I feel comfortable putting him in S. He also has very good damage, very good character. Next up, Lee May. I put her at A tier. She's decent. She's not very good on mix-ups. To set up lanterns, she relies on her cameo. So without the cameos, her damage is also pretty mediocre. She's pretty decent. She's nothing too special, but she's not like in desperate need of buffs. I won't say that. If you're good with Lee May, you can make it work. But the buff tier characters, there are 3 there, and they are trash. So they are much weaker than the rest of the game, in my opinion. So yeah, moving on to the buff tier. First of all, first opener, Kitana. I will say she is a bit better than the other two over here, but she is not very good regardless. Her strings aren't the best. She lacks mix-ups a lot. The wind bomb is borderline useless. It's pretty trash, honestly. It should have been unblockable, but it's only a mid, and it only hits once on block, so it doesn't even break armor. The reward she gets for comboing you with the wind bomb is not even that high. In the corner, her damage output gets a bit better. Like she can get like 38% for no bar, which is very, very good. So that's why I give her the edge over the other two that will be here later, but she's still not very good. I mean, she could use a buff for sure. Next up, we have Melina, another S tier character. I hate her. She has a 1-2 string, a very good double overhead, fantastic. Annoying to deal with. She has a multiple lows and overheads in her kit. She's a bitch to block against. She has some pretty good projectiles. She has teleports. She has her ball roll, which is again very good. She just feels very, very well rounded, man. She can do everything. She doesn't struggle in any matchup from my experience. I struggle against her, which is again another major factor for me specifically. But yeah, she's pretty good. So yeah, she's ST. I do think she's a bit less powerful than Geras, but I will say she's my number 7. So yeah, she's very good. Next up, we have Tanya. Tanya, I put her here. She is better than Limado. She could go in A plus. I do think I might put her at the bottom of A plus. She is very good. Honestly, man, she's good. I don't see why people underrate her so much. I will say she is a character that requires a lot of effort. Like you need to put some effort in training mode to learn her because she has some very unique kit. But her kit is very good. It's very versatile as well. Her parry move is one of the best punish tools in the entire game. It's basically you can replace it with a flawless block, like replace this a flawless block with this thing, and you can get a free jumping for a punish. So it's crazy good in certain scenarios. What else? Her teleport is a pretty good mobility option. She has a projectile, it is not bad at all. She has some pretty good element jump put if you use her correctly and do her combos well. She synergizes very well with the best cameos in the game. Like Sub Zero is very good for her. Jax is very good. So yeah, she has some pretty good synergy with the best cameo, which is fantastic, of course. She just feels very solid for me. I feel like she could go much higher as time goes on, but for now I feel comfortable putting her over here. Like honestly, I will put her here. I do think she's at A plus. She will be at the bottom, but she is pretty good. Next up, Scorpion. I think he's over here, a bit above Liu Kang. He has a very good projectile. Raw spears give you like 15% damage, not 50%, what the fuck am I talking about? A raw spear from full screen can give you like 40% damage for one bar. It's actually crazy the amount of damage it does. His damage output in general is very good. I like it. Put him in the same level as Liu Kang, who has very good damage. So yeah, his damage output is fantastic, but also just like Liu Kang, he lacks mix very badly. His mix up is trash. He doesn't have good mix at all. Like if you do block against Scorpion, except for throws, he just has nowhere of opening go up. His back three is a very overused button, very overrated because it has a very good range, but you can actually jump over that thing in reaction because of how slow it is, and you can actually just get a free jump in and a free combo. So it's not very good, man. It really is not. His mix-up game holds them back again, but he gets very good rewards for hitting you. And he has a teleport, which is very good against other zoners. So yeah, he's a pretty solid character. Next up, we have Sub-Zero. Buff, please, for the love of God. I think he might be the best character in the entire game. They nerfed it. They gave him so much scaling on any combo he does. He struggles to break 40 now. It's actually crazy how bad his damage is. His mix-up is already not that powerful either. Like the overhead he has in his kit is minus 26 on block. The skeleton bullshit, very unsafe. The reward you get for any hit with him is extremely bad. Like you can hardly get 30% even with one bar spent. His damage is complete dog shit. What else? His low starter. Even if you hit it on reaction, it's very tough to even call a cameo that combos. Like if the second low hits and not the first one, like you hit them with the second low, no cameo can help you combo from that. So you just get nothing. So I just feel like it's a struggle. Props to Sikander for managing to win with him using combat league. But I will say, in this game specifically, the low tiers don't feel as trash as they were in MK11. Like Rambo, Melina, and Drain in MK11 felt so much weaker than the rest of the roster. In this one, like characters like Kitana, I don't think she's that bad. Like she's not that bad. She's usable for sure. Is she runnable in tournaments? Is she competing? If you're good enough, you can make any character work in this game. But I don't think she's competing with the best. That's for sure. But she is not that terrible, so that's another good thing. But I do think these two need a buff for sure. Reptile, I think he goes here. Nothing too much to say. He's just very good all around. He has tools for pretty much everything. He's got decent zoning. He has very good mobility with the dash special. He's got great damage, even meterless. Like he gets 37% meterless, which is very good. He just feels very solid, man. He just feels very solid. I love him. My favorite iteration of Reptile so far. He is fantastic in this one. Next up, we have Smoke. Smoke. I will put Smoke here. I do think he's a S tier character. He is very underrated in my opinion. I do think people underrate him a lot. I see some people put him in A tier, stuff like that. He's definitely not. His mix-up game is actually crazy when you use Cyrax, man. Because he has so many overheads in his kit, he can jail you into Cyrax's swords, and then he just gets going, man. He has his invincibility, which is crazy good. Because his armor wake up, if you don't armor to anything, you actually just go invisible, which is very powerful to have. He can also go invisible from his teleport. His teleport in general hits low, which is annoying sometimes. He just feels very good all around, man. Honestly, he just feels solid. He just feels very good. In any matchup, I don't think he struggles too much. He requires some practice to learn how to do the smoke port cancel consistently at any time in the game, but he is a very good character, that's for sure. I do think he's a bit better than all of the A plus characters. enough to put them in the same tier as Milin and Geras. These two are better than him for sure, but they are not better than him so much that they is in a different tier. I don't think so. Next up, we have Rain. I put Rain at like either behind Kung Lao or at the top of A+. Rain is very good. He has a low and overhead starter. His damage output is really good. Like if you spend the bar, he can get like 40% easily. He has some crazy setups with the Whirlpool move. You can get pretty much guaranteed resets with this character unless they delay their wake up. And if you read the delay wake up, you can still get the reset and then they just screwed, honestly. He's very good in zoning and in anti-zoning. He has Sub-Zero's ice armor for himself, like baseline in his kit, which is very good. His water bubble move can actually act as a camouflage, like it can disrupt the enemy from seeing what you are doing, which is a very good thing. It's very tough to play around Rain's mix-ups when you can't see what he's doing. So yeah, that's another very good mix-up. So he feels very good. In any aspect of the game, Rain doesn't struggle. He's just a very good character. Next up, Johnny, number 3 in the game, in my opinion, he is very good. And I'm happy. If they didn't nerf his Snap Punch, I do think he could have actually been number 1. I do think the top 2 would have been a bit better than him, maybe, but he would have been a contender for top 2 for sure if he still had a 1 bar Nut Punch. But regardless, Johnny is still very, very good. With Striker or Cyrax, you can get some nasty shit with this character. His mix-up is very good. His damage is very good. He doesn't even struggle against zoners that much because EX Shadow Dash goes basically full screen and it negates all projectiles. So he just feels very, very powerful in all aspects, man. He is crazy good, and I'm happy because he's pretty much my main. He is very, very fun to play. He is fantastic. He's an amazing character. Now we have Kenshi. Easily better than these two, honestly. Kenshi is fucking stupid. Baraka as well, I put them both here. Actually, you know what? That's why I actually brought in a separate tier, honestly. Just let me put this tier like peak. Let's call this DLC tier, because I think the DLC will be broken. And I'll put these two here. I'll call it the Baraka tier. These two are completely busted, man, and they just feel miles ahead of the rest of the game, honestly. Baraka can get 60% for 2 bars in the corner and 50% anywhere on screen with 1 bar. We're using Cyrax. He can kill you without even opening you up. He has crazy good 50-50s. He has an armored breaking low launcher. He's just fucking broken, man. He doesn't struggle in any aspect. He has 0 weaknesses. He has very good frame data. He does so much chip and so much damage on hit. You can't afford to get hit by this character even on block. Like you just have to run away and try and zone him out. And he still has a pretty good projectile as well. So Baraka is completely broken. He has no weaknesses, and because of that, I give him the edge over Kenshi. Kenshi is number 2 for sure, though. He's either number 2 or number 1, regardless. Both of these two are interchangeable. I do think Baraka is a bit better because he has 0 weaknesses and Kenshi has weaknesses, but Kenshi is fucking broken. Kenshi is much better than Johnny, who is number 3, for sure. Kenshi, when he goes into center, the game is pretty much over, man. Unless you manage to somehow poke him out of center if the Kenshi player screws up, which just doesn't happen a lot because Kenshi is surprisingly easy to play. You might not believe it, but Kenshi is not very difficult. Learning him from the get-go is difficult, but once you get the timings and the holding R1 to control center down, once you get this down, he's not that difficult to use, and he's so broken when he goes into center. Like you use any of the freezer, Sub-Zero or Frost, you do whatever button, you go into the freeze, you go into center, 45% combo guaranteed meterless, and then just Oki. Like they have to guess between a throw, between a low starter, and between an overhead starter, all of which just lead to low and overhead starters both lead to like 40% again. You just die against this character. He has really good neutral, really good buttons outside of center as well. He has one of the better projectiles, if not straight up the best one in the entire game, Demon Drop. He has a very good armor wake up with a force push. He's just very, very good, man. All around, he's a fantastic character. He has almost no weaknesses. His only weakness is just how Sento can just, you can run out of Sento because you got hit. Sento got hit, or just the timer ran out, and then he struggles a bit because in Sento without the puppet, Kenshi is significantly weaker. All of his strings are pretty much punishable. Like, you can still make it work, but getting out of Sento is very difficult because the cancel takes a while. So yeah, I do think Kenshi is very, 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 very broken, and so is Baraka. But I do give Baraka the edge over him. So yeah, that's my top 2 for sure. These are 100% the top 2. If you argue they are not, you're just wrong. It's not even my opinion. Every pro player thinks that as well. These two are pretty much 90% of what you see in a high ranked combat league. They're just completely busted, man. They both could use some nerfs, but I don't want to call for nerfs so early in the game. But if they don't nerf him, I hope they buff much of the roster because just these characters are too good right now. They feel like they're much better than Johnny, who's the number three. So yeah, these two are the top two. You can't argue against that. You can change the order of these two, but they are the top two for sure. Now, next up we have Havoc. Very underrated. I think he's better than Limei. I do think that. He has his back too, which is a very good button. He has some pretty decent projectiles as well, like the blood ball and the exploding blood ball that tracks you. It moves at light speed, that shit, man. It can catch you all the time. Havoc is nothing too crazy, but Havoc is not bad at all. Like he's not in the buff tier. He's not so bad right now that you can't compete with this guy. He's not in this level. If you're good with Havoc, you can make it work. Especially because his best partner is Cyrax, and he works very, very well with Cyrax. So you can definitely make it work. So yeah, I do think Havoc is a bit underrated in the community. He's nothing too crazy. I don't think he's A plus. He doesn't break the cut, but he is a good character for sure. You can make him work. Yeah, next up, Ashrah. Screw you, I hate you. She's top 5. I don't even have to discuss her. She's very simple. A monkey can play her in 5 minutes. She is extremely easy to use. All of her combos are very straightforward. She does 40% for 1 bar anywhere on screen. She has one of the best normals in the entire game, or 4 or 2 that goes pretty much half screen. She has a very good projectile plus on block. She has a low starter. She has an overhead starter. She's just very, very good all around. She's a perfect character, really. Next up, we have Sindel. I put her here. I think she's a bit weaker than Reptile. Problem I have with Sindel is just her damage output is very, very low. Honestly, even if you spend your resources, her damage is not very good. And also, her mixed up game is not very good either. You have to rely pretty much on whiff punishes with this character because her hitboxes and range are very good. That's for sure. But she has no lows and no overheads in her kit. The only low she has is her back 3, which is completely useless. It doesn't start combos even with cameos. It's borderline useless. It's minus 25 on block. It's fucking garbage, man. I don't know what else to say. I will say, if her cameo shenanigans were like you apply the buff to yourself, like you don't have to do it on reaction or on read, she would have been much better if you could steal the cameo more reliably. But it's pretty much impossible to do in a real match, man. It really is. Like it's very, very difficult to steal the cameos in a real match because most cameos just activate either on a block string or just activate so quickly you can't react in time. So I put her over here. She has some issues. I wouldn't mind if she got buffed a bit, honestly. Like I do think pretty much of the roster can use some buffs. She could use some quality of life stuff. These two could use some much more major buffs, and these two could use a complete revamp. But yeah, she is decent. I mean, she really is. She's not bad at all. You can run her and make it work for sure. She's a pretty good character. I don't think she's spectacular. I saw people putting her at S. She's not S. No fucking way. She is like a lower A plus character. She's pretty decent, but she's not very good. General Shao. Oh, sweet God. Why does he have to suck in every playable appearance, man? He had only 2 right now. This in Mortal Kombat 11, but he's so trash. He's overhead starter. It's only a starter if you use Motaro, and it's complete dog shit. It's minus 32 on block. You can go drink coffee, come back, and still punish the guy. Man, I don't know who's worse, him or Sub-Zero. I'm not even gonna bother changing it, honestly. Like, I'll just put Sub-Zero here to feel better because I love General Shao so much. I love Shao Kahn so much. But he just sucks in every game. I hope he gets buffed to the sky and becomes like I want what I want to happen is I have to add a tier above Baraka tier, and then I have to I want to be needed to like add a tier above Baraka tier and a tier above that, call it the Shao tier and put him there. That's what I wish for. Make him completely busted, man. He deserves it. He's the final boss of Mortal Kombat, man. It can be actually Onaga is the final boss. He is the sub final boss. He is so iconic. He's so beloved by the community. He can be that shit every game. So yeah, please buff him. Please buff this three. I really want them to see them buff, man. So yeah, if you want to see more in-depth detail, by the way, just check out the ranking video I made. So yeah, next up we have Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung, I think, is a bit better than Sindel. He has some solid damage output. He's not very good when mixing you up. That's his main drawback, but he can set up some nasty stuff with the steal because he can steal characters with high damage outputs and actually get even more damage. So if you steal someone like Raiden or Baraka, you can get 60, 70% combos easily. So Shang can have some crazy good stuff. But he is a knowledge check. You have to know what you're doing with the rest of the roster for sure. Nitara, I'll put her at A. I think she might be a bit better than Li Mei. Actually, no, she's not. Her normals are complete dog shit. She has the worst normals in the game. If I did a normal tier list, she would be out of the tier list. Like, I'd put her here. She would be out. I wouldn't even bother ranking her. Her normals are complete dog shit. But she has some pretty good mobility. And she has pretty good mobility and she has pretty decent damage output as well. So she's not that terrible, but she's not very good either. Actually, she could go in the buff tier, honestly. You could give her some buffs. She could use it, like, just frame data stuff. If she got buffs to her frame data and got frame data likely mazed, she would be, like, here, for sure. Her mobility is crazy, so she barely avoids the buff tier, but she is still not very good regardless. Finally, the final character, we have General Reiko. I will put you over here. I think he might be a bit weaker than Shang, but I do think these two are kind of interchangeable. Reiko has some solid tools in the skit, but it doesn't feel spectacular in any way. It just feels very, very good. It just feels good in all aspects, but it doesn't feel fantastic in any aspect. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for my tier list, guys. If I would have to make any other change, just maybe Smoke is not in the same tier as these two. I think you could make an argument Smoke is here. For me personally, it is here, but you could make an argument is like here. The worst I can see you do him is here. No fucking way Smoke is here. No way. Smoke is at least, at the very least here. 100%. So yeah, that's my tier list, guys. If you agree or disagree, feel free to leave a comment. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, and if you agree, or even if you don't agree, please like. It still helps a lot if you enjoy my content. It will help bring this channel up, make it skyrocket for the algorithm. So yeah, guys, I appreciate if you watch this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the